The parable of the Good Samaritan, which we have just heard in the Gospel, fits in well with the theme of the NAIDOC week, which we are celebrating. The theme is Get Up, Stand Up, and Show Up. The parable was told by Jesus in response to a provocative question from a lawyer, which was, "And who is my neighbor?" Thus the parable. A man implicitly understood to be Jewish, who was on his way from Jerusalem to Jericho, had been beaten up, all his belongings robbed, and left half dead alongside a road. When some people saw him in pain, they just looked at him and continued on their journey on the other side of the road. However, when the Good Samaritan, a traveler, saw him, he was moved with compassion, which made him to stop, went and met this man who had been beaten up, and he bandaged his wounds. He then took him to a place where he was going to receive more help, and he paid money so that they could look after him. Then he said to the person who was going to stay nursing his wounds that on his way back, he would come and follow up to find out if extra expenses were incurred so that he could pay those extra costs. This action of the Good Samaritan is exactly what the theme of the NAIDOC week is all about. We can see different paintings in our church today of the indigenous people. This NAIDOC week is in a special way, reminds us about the journey of reconciliation with the indigenous people. When we see something that needs our attention, we should not just overlook it and continue walking on the other side of the road. Instead, we should get up and show up to attend to that particular situation. And after dealing with the situation, we should follow up to cross-check whether everything was well taken care of. In so doing, we shall be providing justice and equality to everyone, as well as upholding the dignity of every human person. Our Australian saint, Mary McCarthy, had a famous saying, "We should never see a need without doing anything." For the Good Samaritan, he saw the need of the man who had been beaten up, and he did something about it. He even followed up to ensure that the man had got all the appropriate treatment. This morning, I was listening to the Australian national anthem, and I picked out the first and second line. Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. This NAIDOC week, in which we celebrate the history, culture, and achievements of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, gives us a great opportunity to continue appreciating and learning more about the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities. And as we continue to follow Christ's great commandment, love God and your neighbor as you love yourself, let us all strive to go and act like the Good Samaritan in society.